And we'll go on to Travis from South Carolina, if he's there. You there, Travis?
Hey, Alan. Pleasure to speak with you. Your giving of information has been key in my process of waking up, and I think you're one of the few people that are in it for the right reasons, and I certainly appreciate that because your waking me up has come at quite a cost, but at a good cost. And I wanted to confirm just kind of a personal testimony and story about this global government and how this so-called freedom we have is a sham. Being a business owner in South Carolina, I came to find out that, of course, not too long after speaking out against the tyranny in the government, that my city was under what was called International Property Maintenance Code, in which I was basically fined under this. That's about an 80-page PDF that people can find online.
Uh-huh.
And you actually, through one of your shows, kind of raised my attention to this, but it was adopted by the city, but it's an international code. I think it's UN mandated. But, you know, I was basically fined for a rip in the canopy where my sign is, and was almost completely shut down over a tear in a canopy in what's supposed to be, of course, a free republic, a free society, operating under International Property Maintenance Code. You know, of course, we didn't get a vote on this or anything like that. The city adopted it.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll come back after this break. Hi, folks. We're back, and we're cutting through the matrix, and we'll see if Travis is still there. You're still there, Travis?
Yes, I am, Alan.
Yeah, there's a name for the organization that the UN put in every country, and I read a couple of years ago about it, in fact, because a guy who works in one of the big cities there in the government in the US told me about it, and he sent me a PDF on it. But they are even going around rural areas too. One guy got fined thousands of dollars for having a leaky downpipe off his roof, you know, and crazy things like that. And they've been given more power all the time, and they're putting these officers into every state in the US and Canada under environmental protection, but they are under the auspices of the United Nations. That's who their boss basically is. So I'm not surprised you're getting a hassle over something as ridiculous as that.
Yeah, and of course, with the code enforcer who came out that could approve or disapprove this, you know, I got the regular line of just doing my job, and that's what they all like to say. And also, I mean, just on this similar topic, I don't know if you saw the story right up the road from me in Charlotte. They fined a church $4,000 for
tree pruning
its crepe myrtle trees.
That's right. Yeah. I've got that article here too. I'll put that article up tonight as well. But it's astonishing what they're doing. It's control freak time, you see. And eventually, there's nothing you can do without the advice and permission of experts. That's what they talk about in the expertly run society. It's training you that you are a perpetual child. You can't make a competent decision for yourself. You need the experts, and here they are. And if you go against them, they're going to find the bejesus out of you, which they do. And that's going to teach us, because we're just little children, you see. We're just silly little rebellious children who can't make decisions for ourselves. And this is the world that they're bringing in because we let them bring it in.
Yeah, certainly. And if I could ask you one question I was interested in, I've heard you talk a lot about tribal cultures and of course, you know, governments and how government's an idea. And I wanted to ask you, I mean, what would be your stance on, I mean, what would you think, I mean, just no government would, I know you wouldn't probably label yourself as anything, an anarchist or anything like that, or libertarian, but would you say maybe like the first 100 years of the country is more where like a system that had the most freedom, or just more of a tribal, you know, Indian type society with no government? I mean, I was just wanting your take on that.
Well, there's no doubt about it. The ones that are still tribal today, there are tribal societies. They still live, and they're pretty well independent for everything that they need. They've all to be crushed eventually, of course. But it's true enough. After the American War of Independence, you didn't have the bureaucrats, the organization, the government, the taxation to pay for it all either, to go out into the woods and start taxing every little hut that was put there. It's when when this odd thing they call civilization comes in. This is what they call civilization. We're civilized now. In come the lawyers. They get into the government. They expand. They want committees and associations to deal with everything. Taxes must be brought in eventually to pay for it all, because they've always got great, wonderful ideas on how things should be run and how their pockets should be filled. And it's under law. This thing called law just goes rampant like a cancer until we are here today. You can't prune a particular tree because you'll get fined for it. You can't have a leaky downspout from your roof or a torn canopy or anything like that. This is the craziness that we allow to happen, because we are not under any kind of representational government. We're not under any kind of democratic input. And we never really were since this thing called civilization took over. But thanks for calling. Thanks for calling. From Hamish myself from Ontario, Canada, it's good night. May your God or your gods go with you.